Please subscribe to Facetv Africa and turn the notification on. Facetv Africa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, subscribe, hete.
Face TV Muswobi.
Former President Muhammadu Buhari has lashed out at his critics for expressing happiness over the end of his 8-year tenure, saying the criticisms that trailed his government were born of anger from lost opportunities. Buhari stated that many people were unhappy after he declared that no more free money during his administration. The former president, however, said his administration touched every sector with massive and positive changes, noting that one of the greatest achievements of his government was the diversification of Nigeria's economy. He said this in a statement issued by his spokesman Garba Shehu on the 13th of September 2023. Shehu said bullies who attacked governments and something dropped will continue to antagonize Buhari, born out of anger from lost opportunities. A certain Buhari critic who served a military governor in one of the northern states, even his underwear was bought from government coffers. When they came in, they freed thieves, robbers, and receivers of stolen goods, and even gave them a working capital. Within a few weeks, crime returned to Kaduna and yes, the other places, and he has the effrontery to speak as he did. This society has no use for such squalid nonsense. How many of these people do you think were happy when President Buhari said no more free money? Buhari said money in national security agencies is for security. Lazy men and women who can't work cannot just walk in and walk out of that place and bag stuffed with money in a free-for-all. These ones have nothing to teach anyone. President TINUBU, a wise politician, will equally see through their masquerade. He added, in the normative functions of our government, an administration takes 4 to 5 major decisions in 4 years and they rush to the public square to celebrate themselves. Looking at the records he left, the Buhari government has taken hundreds of major decisions in the 8 years it was in office, and yet you hear nothing but criticism upon criticism. The promise of tackling corruption and establishing a strong democracy was a prime factor in the rise to power by Muhammadu Buhari and the All Progressives Congress Party in 2015. On coming to office, the administration directed all ministries, departments, and agencies to close their accounts with deposit money banks to fully operationalize the Treasury single account. Was also launched in 2012 but left on the drawing boards. More than 17,000 bank accounts were closed and an average of 4 billion naira in monthly bank charges were saved. Government revenue, it was found out, was being banked in personal accounts, and signatories were in some stances big men and women who had retired from service. This was closely followed with the institution of the Integrated Personnel and Payroll System, that is IPPS, to cover all MDAs in spite of great opposition by the armed forces and the universities. Ghost workers in excess of over 50,000 were flushed out and savings in hundreds of billions made. Throughout these 8 years, no bribery allegation against the person of Muhammadu Buhari were ever made. One of the greatest achievements of the Buhari government has been that it diversified the economy. The administration achieved self-sufficiency in rice and financed millions of small farmers of 23 different commodities, an effort that helped to boost the export of agricultural commodities. The former presidential spokesman noted that Buhari's administration launched some programs, including the National Livestock Transformation Program, which he said helped to curb farmer clashes in the country. He added that the COVID-19 pandemic was brought under control due to the relentless leadership of President Buhari, saying Boko Haram terrorism was almost being quashed following the former president's government's fight against insecurity. Shehu added there has been a massive improvement in health infrastructure, a significant and new education policy has been framed, and even a policy against open defecation had been formulated and is taking hold in many states. So the so-called critics don't want to acknowledge the great job done by the nation's intelligence agencies in diminishing the IPOB, its affiliates, and other secessionist movements. The National Intelligence Agency single-handedly worked with our neighbors, especially Niger Republic, in bringing down illegal small arms and light weapons importation into the Nigerian territory by 78%. There was not a single area that had not been touched by the Buhari government. We've seen massive positive changes in the last 8 years, but as they say, the one who is pretending to be asleep is harder to wake up than the one who is actually sleeping. Muhammadu Buhari has done his part and left. History will judge him, and fairly, I think. This is from the spokesperson, that's Garba Shehu. I believe spokespersons do their job to defend their client and also do a wonderful PR, public relations, for the person they are working for. Well, from the Nigerian perspective, we see that some of these things are not in reality reflecting on the economy, reflecting on the life of an average Nigerian. Most of these things should be propaganda, because when you want to verify, it takes a lot to start having these arguments whether the president has done so much. But I believe that one point that we are going to take from here, we have had political jobbers, we have had even some persons in the APC saying that the president has done not wonderfully well in major areas. He said they touched every sector of the economy, and also looking at how it was so wonderful in agriculture and every other thing. But Nigerians are not seeing the evidence. It is not reflecting on the day-to-day lifestyle and activity of Nigerians. Some people would say Buhari's regime has become one of the worst regime ever in the history of Nigeria, and since the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into power, he had taken a different step and he has taken responsibility. He has reacted to situations and crises happening in the country, unlike the former president Buhari that really did not do as if he even cared about it. They're talking about corruption, whether there's anything attached to him. If there's nothing, as it were, attached to the nothing like bribery connected to the president, do you expect the EFCC to investigate the president as a president that has immunity? Or do you expect the DSS to investigate a president, a sitting president? If we have had political courage to investigate our former leaders, none of them would we say is free from whatever corruption it is. Okay, let's look at those under the president and how corruption festered. Look at what is happening to Emefiele and the monetary policy. It's a whole lot to talk about. We just know that the President Buhari passed a message to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And we hope that one of the things the President will do is to investigate former presidents and also bring corruption to its barest minimum.
Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, subscribe, hete.
Face TV. Muswobi.